Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss about the if function that we have in Excel. So the if function is used. It's a mostly used function in Excel, and if you are comparing any data and you want to retrieve certain values, or if you want to give certain values, you can do that with the if function. So if your value is true, you'll provide one output, and if your values if your comparison does not match, then you provide the false output. So we'll directly jump into the demo and see how it works. So I have created this table over here. It's a random table, so it contains name, subject, and the total marks. So let's say anybody who's got I want to compare this data, and I want to make sure that anybody who's got less than 60 marks, he should be fail. He should be output should be the fail. So how can I go ahead and do that? I'll show you. So let's use the if function. First you have to enter equal to, then if, open bracket. Now I have to provide the logical test. So the logical test would be like I have to provide out of it. So it could be anything. So let's say out of this column I want to retrieve the value which is less than 60. I want to define that. So let's say this column contains less than 60. So this is the logical test that I have provided. Now what if this logical test is true? What value should derive? So I have to provide that value. So if this is true, what should be the output? So I'm entering the text. So whenever you are entering the text in the formula, you have to provide double quotes. So anybody who's got less than 60, so he should be fail. Now what if this comparison is false? What should be the output? So if less than 60, it should be fail. So if more than 60, then it has to be pass. Close bracket. Now I provided both the logical test. I need to close the bracket, closing it, enter. So now I will drag this formula. So you can see over here there is only one value which is less than 60, so it got failed. The rest are more than 60, so they are all passed. So let's say in case you have entered any incorrect value, then output will change. Let's say this language Roger got less than 60, or let's say 55 only. So when I make 55, this will become fail over here. See, it has become fail. Okay, now if I make it more than 50, this one is more than 50. I incorrectly entered. I figured out that it's an incorrect mark that I have provided to rows. So if I make it, let's say 80, so it has become pass now. So this way you can use the if function if you want to provide any value. Now I'm going to show you one more way where you can use the if function. Let's say if I'll enter if. Now this is the text I want to compare. So let's say if this cell contains math equal to maths, if this contains equal to maths, so whenever we are entering any text, we have to provide into double quotes. So let's say math. So this is the logical function that we have provided. So if that table contains math, what should be the output? So first logical test, if it's this logical test pass, what should be the output? So I want this output to be 100. If that logical test fails, then I want that to be 200. So if you notice over here, I have entered numbers over here. So whenever you are entering the numbers, you don't need to provide double quotes. You can simply enter the number. So I will calculate this formula. It was date formatting, so I'll just make it the general. So whenever it has math, it will give you the first output, which is 100. Okay, and if it's not math, then it will be 200. So I will drag it over here. So whenever you see okay, I think I've entered incorrect one, so I'll make it as now. Okay, so whenever you see there is maths written over here, it will become 100. Now it's say if I check anything, I'll check math, it has become 100 once again. So this way you can use function. Now I'll show you one more way where you can utilize this as a you can add additional function to it. So let's say I will use if function. Okay, now I'm going to be a little creative about this. So let's say this, I want to compare this column. So if it's equal to Adam, so I'm entering the text, so I need to provide double quotes. Okay, so if this logical test is correct, what should be the output? The output should be the today's date. So I'll enter today's date formula. Okay, if this logical test is incorrect, then what should be the output? So I want it to be today equal plus 5 days. So I'll make it plus 5 days. Okay. So whenever it has Adam, all this column has Adam, it will show today's date. Otherwise, if this logical test is incorrect or it is false, then it will be 2 days plus 5 days. Enter. I'll make a date format. Okay, date. Now I drag this formula. So today's date is 26th April. That's why if you see here in Adam, it is showing 26, and wherever there is no Adam, it will show plus 5 days. So it's 26 plus 5 days is equal to 1st May. And if I change, like if I make everybody as Adam, let's say Adam, if I drag everybody as Adam, say everything will become 26. If I change it to Rose, see this date is changing over here. So this way you can use the if function. It would be very creative, and once you start using it, you can figure out the ways to be creative about this function. You can use whenever you are comparing any data. So this if function is widely used in Excel, and it's a good function to learn. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much.